Are you thinking about buying a new vehicle? Are you interested in what the different options are around standard gas, hybrids, electric vehicle, plug-in? What's good for the wallet? What's good for the world? Let's see what's best for you. Welcome back. Today we're going to be talking about hybrid and electric vehicles versus the common internal combustion engine, the gas-fired vehicles. I'm going to try to help you understand what's good for your wallet and what's good for the world. I'd like to give just a little overview of the technology involved because it becomes important to explain why hybrid and EVs are more efficient in a number of different ways. The first chart here shows electromagnetic generators and electromagnetic motors. You can see on one end there's a little crank. If you turn that, by magic, there's magnets and wires. It creates electric current. Don't worry about AC/DC here, but it puts a current. That current can be used to drive a motor, which is kind of the opposite of a generator. You put some electricity in and mechanical energy comes out. Now, you don't have to understand exactly how this works. That's physics. But understand you got it in your car today. In your normal gas-fired car, you have at least one generator, and it's commonly known as an alternator. So what happens is your car engine is running and turning, there's a belt that goes around a generator called your alternator. It turns that and it produces electricity that can charge your battery so you can restart your car. It drives your lights and all your electrical components. And there's a lot of electrical motors in your car. It blows the air for your cooling and heating system. It raises and lowers your windows. There's tons of actually very tiny small motors in your car. This is the technology. This is what works in your car today. Now, the differences between a common gas-fired vehicle and a hybrid is there's the thing called regenerative braking. And what this is, and we've got a little link to a video that they explain it in more detail, but it's basically with your normal gas-fired engine, you use a lot of gas to get up to a certain velocity, and that takes a lot of energy. When you come to slow down or brake, you lose all of that energy. Goes away, never to be found again, mostly in heat to your brakes. So you'll lose a lot of mileage. What regenerative braking does, and that's in a hybrid and electrical vehicle, is instead of wasting that energy, it drives a generator and produces electricity that recharges your battery and allows you to then turn around and, with a hybrid at slow speeds, at an EV at all speeds, run your vehicle on that wasted energy when you braked. And if you take a look at this one chart around a Ford Escape, you can see how this does affect your mileage. So at the top is a hybrid vehicle. At the bottom is the gas-fired vehicle. Same, basically same car. You can see the EPA gives you three items. One is a combined highway city. This is for the average driver. And you can see the hybrid is 39 versus 30. So these are both gas-fired, but they've got a hybrid system to save that energy. And it's kind of interesting to look at the miles per gallon for the city and the highway. There's a huge difference between the city, 42 for the hybrid, and only 27 for the gas-fired. That's because you're doing a lot of stopping and starting. And so that's where you actually get higher mileage for the hybrid than the average and much lower for the standard. And you can see the highway, there's a little bit of difference. That's because when you're on the highway, you do slow down on occasion, and that saves, but there's much smaller difference between the two. Now, when we talk about an electric vehicle, people ask the question, but wait a minute, how do I really save emissions? I know an electric vehicle has no emissions coming out the exhaust pipe because you're not burning anything, but all that electricity, all the way back to the utility. They're burning something. They're basically driving a generator based on that energy that's coming from either burning gas, natural gas, or coal, generates electricity, comes over these electric lines, comes in, charges my battery, and that battery turns around and drives the motor. How can that generate less carbon dioxide than just burning it directly? Same question for cost. How can that be cheaper than me just buying a gallon of gasoline and driving it? And basically, it comes down to efficiency. Believe it or not, I mean, we've been doing this for 100 years. Internal combustion engines are very inefficient, and they measure it many different ways, but one thing is called well to wheel. So what is the energy we get out of the ground from a barrel of oil? How much is that is eventually transformed into energy that does what we're trying to have it do, drive the four wheels of your car to go. And that's estimated about 15 to 20%. So a lot is wasted. Some is wasted in the refinery process and getting the gas to your gas station, but most of it's wasted actually in your car. Mostly is heat. You're burning the fuel. Cold air comes in, igniting it, and then hot air comes out your exhaust. Is a lot of wasted heat. And there's even more wasted heat because if an internal combustion engine was just allowed to run without cooling, it would overheat and seize up. So you have a radiator, you have a fan belt, all that stuff is using energy to cool it. So a lot of that energy is wasted. And then, the internal combustion engine uses pistons. So it's up and down motion it generates. It's got to convert that into rotary energy. So at the end, it's very, very inefficient. If you look at an electric vehicle, you got to go back, to the utility that's burning coal or natural gas. There, the efficiency isn't great. The least is 30%, but there's some that's up to 40 and 50. So it's not great, but it's a lot more than 15%. So at the end of the day, that energy, which is producing carbon dioxide, is at least twice, if not 3 to 4 times more efficient than your internal combustion engine. Believe it or not, there's not a lot wasted in the energy transmission through the lines, through your battery, into your motor. There are some losses, but they're insignificant versus what an internal combustion engine loses. Then from a cost standpoint, not only is it more efficient, but a utility pays a lot less money for coal and natural gas, direct at very high volumes than you pay for gasoline at the station. So there's the big difference in efficiency. Now let's see if it works for you. We're going to take a look at a tool that we developed. One point here is the way this tool works is, we assume that you are going to buy a new vehicle. We're not going to get into decisions. How long should you keep your old vehicle? How long is the maintenance cost going to overwhelm the cost of a new car? You need to decide when it's right for you to buy a new vehicle. The tool is developed to give you information on the choices between one vehicle and another. So let's take a look at the tool. From the home page, we go into tools, the driving comparison tool. You can put your name and your email in, and let's take a look at what we compare. 2 different vehicles. Normally, we'll choose the one to be a standard gas, but you can choose the other ones. Enter its miles per gallon, and we have the Energy Department's link in the resources so you can look up the vehicle that you're interested. And the vehicle number 1, the miles per gallon E, is not needed here because it's just gas. And then over here, what you're trying to compare it to, vehicle type 2, you can choose all these different options. Here I'll just choose full EV. Your gas miles per gallon is irrelevant. Go down here, and here's an average vehicle of 103 mpge. And so those are the two vehicles we're going to look at. Your driving assumptions. How many miles per year do you drive? I just put the average 13,500. What you pay for gas. Right now it's $4.25 for regular gas in my area, $5 right now for premium. Then you need to input your electricity price. Where are you going to be charging the vehicle? And if it's at home, I'll put the average home retail price of 17.5 cents per kilowatt hour. Again, if you're going to be charging somewhere else, it may be considerably higher, and you have to think through that. The electricity intensity, we just leave it natural gas as the default. Then down here, you're going to have to enter the difference in total cost between vehicle 1 and vehicle 2. This will be the additional price you have to pay to the dealer. Maybe there's a rebate, no longer federal, but state, local, and your utility may have a rebate. Take that into account. And if you think you're going to have to add a charger to your house or something like that, put it in. So here we'll give $4,000 between the two. Right now there's pretty good deals on electric cars because the rebate has gone away and they have a lot of inventory. Then there's the driving tax delta. Many states will tax you if you have an EV because gasoline has a tax that goes to improving the roads. And since you're not buying any gasoline, they got to get you somewhere. So in Pennsylvania, it's $250 per year. Put a discount rate for the more sophisticated financials, and then hit recalculate. And down here we get the results. So it shows you how much you save each year, the amount of carbon dioxide reduced, how quickly it pays back. A little over 3 years, 24% IRR. That's more than twice what you can get in the stock market. It shows you a comparison between the two. And down here, it shows you that CO2 reduction is 57.5%. The CO2 reduction per investment dollar is very good, 1.44. And it also shows you the amount of electricity you added. Again, you stopped using gasoline, but you use more electricity. And it shows you how much more to get that performance. And then it'll actually show you, and we'll use this later, the number of solar panels you'd have to add to cover that entire additional electricity. Take a look at this, play with it, and down below is a cash flow. Look at different options, and then you can download it. And you can either print it or go down here and save as a PDF and put it into a file, run a number of different scenarios. We'll have some future episodes where I'll go through a number of different examples to show you how different the results can come out depending where you are in the world or in the United States, your driving patterns, and what you pay for electricity. I hope you enjoyed this. Thanks for listening. Thank you for listening to Fade Your Footprint, a show about home decarbonization. Make sure you visit my website, fadeyourfootprint.org, and check out my free tools or book a Zoom session with me to take steps toward reducing your personal carbon emissions.